What is up, my friends? I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. You are very welcome along to Monday's Transfer News Roundup. I'm going to be taking you through Liverpool's latest in the search for a centre-back, a potential blow in the race for an attacker who's been linked to the club. We'll give you a little update on Alan Hansen and a couple of other bits and pieces along the way. Just a bit of a schedule change. Tonight we will be live at 8:30, back to our normal slot. We were going to do the France-Austria game, but we thought better to go and do a Liverpool stream instead. So I hope to see you guys here at 8:30. We'll run through all of your thoughts about the latest in Liverpool's search for transfer reinforcements, when we're going to see RNA slot, and of course whatever else you guys would like to discuss. Now, I've got to draw your attention to this, my friends. You're probably sick of me talking about it, but there are less than 10 tickets to go for a live show in Liverpool. If you would like to come and see us at either Cardiff on August the 2nd, at the Richard Burton Theatre, which is an all-ages event, you can get your tickets with the link in the description or scan the QR code that you will see in the bottom right corner of the screen. Also, we are at Liverpool at the Hot Water Comedy Club August the 4th. Again, it's an all-ages event and we'd love to see you there. You can get your tickets with that QR code in the bottom right-hand corner or the link in the description. So, let's start off with something that is kind of information and not information, really. So it's been reported by Mundo Deportivo that Liverpool have had a £42 million bid for Lille's Lenny Yoro turned down, and that Lille are holding out for something closer to the £50 million mark. Now, I've kind of got a bit wound up by this whole situation. I've no problem with us being after a player like Lenny Yoro. We should be after him, but it looks like he's going to go to Real Madrid. Whether he has to run down his contract with Lille for a year or play hardball. So until Madrid throw their arms up in the air and give up, I feel like everybody else is kind of just wasting their time here. And like I've always said, there's no shame losing out to Madrid for a player, but wasting time on somebody when there are other targets that need to be figured out is the kind of... it's the straw that broke the camel's back for me with this one. So you can believe or not believe that we've put that bid in. Again, it's coming from Spain, so I take it with a massive pinch of salt. But it's the only bid we've had confirmed from anybody for any player that Liverpool have been interested in. So as I said, take it with a pinch of salt. But for me, I hope we just move on from Lenny Yoro, because as much as I'd like him, it does seem like he has his mind set on a move to Real Madrid. Now, speaking of players who've been linked to Real Madrid, Trent Alexander-Arnold. Now, thankfully, I've got nothing to link him new to Real Madrid other than the fright that goes through me every time I see him and Jude Bellingham celebrating together, or doing secret handshakes together, or pictured together on the bench, or anything. I think they should be kept apart in the England camp. I know it probably wouldn't benefit England, but it would benefit my heart, because every time I see them together I get a little bit more concerned. But speaking about his role in that midfield yesterday for England, this is what Trent had to say about playing alongside the likes of Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham. It's physically demanding, but when you're playing with the likes of Declan Rice, Jude Bellingham and the others in and around you with an experienced back four behind you, it helps. With Declan and Jude talking to you and guiding you through it, it's hard to go wrong. The manager and the staff, Steve Holland especially, we've put a lot of work into me in this role, so I was prepared and I knew what was asked of me and what role I needed to do. Hopefully they feel like it was executed, because we got the win in the end. It was a nice little glimpse of Trent in midfield. Now, at Liverpool, he wouldn't have Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham either side of him, but still, it gives us an indication that Trent can indeed fulfil this role. And the more he plays in the position, the more he's going to become familiar with it, and I think that can only benefit us in the longer term as well. So I'm going to take that as a win yesterday for us as well as England. Now, a little bit on Kvaratskhelia, because his agent and his father have been quite vocal. Liverpool are starting to be linked with the player, but I don't know if it's more because his agent and dad are looking to get a move away from Napoli, and Liverpool are, well, potentially in need of a forward. So I'm going to take you through what his dad and the agent said, and then of course I'll ask you guys to let me know your thoughts in the comment section. This is what his agent had to say, speaking to Georgian TV ahead of the Euros. I don't want people to think that Kvaratskhelia wants to stay at Napoli. We want to leave. Couldn't make that any clearer there. But we're waiting for the end of the Euros so as not to disturb Khvicha. The priority is to join a team that plays in the Champions League. We play in the Champions League. Now, Kvaratskhelia wouldn't be anywhere near the top of my list, but if the club deemed him good enough, he's a player that clearly wants out of where he is. So let me know in the comment section. Would you take Kvaratskhelia? I still have reservations. I've yet to see, enough consistency in Kvaratskhelia. But We know what he's capable of. You've seen the highlights, you've seen the clips, you've seen the big moments. If he can do that over a longer period, who knows? And there's one really interesting comment from his father on this that maybe explains that lack of consistency for Kvaratskhelia. He said, "I don't want my son to stay at Napoli. They've changed 3 coaches last season and it's hard to play in a similar situation," which is a very fair comment from his dad. It must be difficult to play when you've worked under 3 coaches in 1 year. You've come off the back of winning the league, having a good campaign in Europe, and it's not backed up. So I actually do understand where his dad and his agent are coming from. And Real Madrid aren't going to be in the race for Kvaratskhelia. So who are we up against if we do want to go and sign him? Maybe Paris Saint-Germain? So this could be possible if Liverpool do indeed have an appetite to bring in Kvaratskhelia, which to that I can't speak at this moment in time. But we want to know your thoughts, so do let us know in the comment section. Now, Pep Lijnders. Remember Pep Lijnders? Well, he's gone over to coach Salzburg, as we know, RB Salzburg. And he wants to bring a Liverpool player over with him. Jaros, our goalkeeper. Now, I did learn a little bit of information yesterday, which I have to admit I didn't know up until that point. But he wants to reunite himself with Jaros and bring Jaros over to play back again in the Austrian Bundesliga. He won the Austrian division last year with Sturm Graz. In fact, he won a double, Jaros. And I thought if Kevin Kelleher moves on this summer, he would become the natural successor. But this piece gave me the bit of information that I didn't know, which is that Jaros also only has 1 year to run on his current Liverpool contract. So that's now Jaros, Trent, Van Dijk and Mohamed Salah all going into their last year. The 22-year-old goalkeeper has gained experience over in Sturm Graz, was at St Patrick's Athletic in Ireland before, and Pep Lijnders wants to bring him over to the Austrian Bundesliga. So what says you, Anfield Agenda audience? What should we be doing here? Hurrying up is probably the right answer. Now, Fabrizio Romano has given an update. I did say at the start of the video there'd be a link or there'd be some information on an attacking player we've been linked with. He said, "I understand Brighton have made contact to start conversations over Crysencio Somerville deal. Not an easy one with many clubs keen, but Brighton have started initial talks to explore this possibility. Liverpool and Chelsea have been monitoring him in recent months. Still an open race." So what are you saying? Should we just back away now? Is Somerville good enough? It's one of these that his name's been linked with us for months and months and months. So if we're going to make a move, well, maybe Brighton will trigger our interest. If we're not going to make a move, I guess that'll become apparent over the next week or so if Brighton progress with talks over a deal. And to finish up today, my friends, a little bit of a positive update on Alan Hansen. You guys may or may not know he is in intensive care. There was a lot of concern around him. Well, Graham Souness, his former teammate and his friend, has given a bit of a positive update on Alan Hansen. He said, "I spoke to him yesterday and he sounded fabulous. So I hope that's him on the way to a full recovery. He's definitely back because he did nothing but take the mickey out of me." Well, it is great to hear. And all of our love and best wishes, of course, go to Alan Hansen and his family. It's great to hear that he's in good spirits. And fingers crossed he does get home to his family very soon. So, my friends, that's the end of today's Transfer News Roundup. But as I said, we will be back live tonight at 8:30, where I hope you can join us for some fun, some laughs, a bit of a reflection on what we've seen so far in the Euros, and of course, lots of transfer talk. Again, you can get your tickets for the live shows in the bottom right-hand corner. Look forward to seeing you guys later on tonight. Thank you for your time. Have a wonderful Monday. Much love. Bye-bye.